it's more about the cars that are leaving. In 2019, over 387,000 vehicles were exported out of South Africa. In fact, right now, 1,600 of these vehicles are being loaded on this cargo vessel, and they're headed for Emden, Germany. In fact, if you see a VW Polo in the streets of Germany, there's a good chance it was made right here in South Africa.
As well as a thriving port, this part of the country is also home to Isuzu, known for its iconic pickup trucks. While it's been fun dressing up and driving fast cars, I must confess that where I get my real thrills is talking business, and that's what I'm doing next.
So you've been in the job for now almost a year as CEO, and it's what is also shocking is that you're the first black person to hold this executive role of international OEM in Africa. Why do you think it's taken this long?
Look, firstly, before I answer your question, I think the challenge I have myself, and I'm always keeping myself honest, is to say, being the first black CEO, you become the poster child for this, but what poster child do you want to be? Because you also want to create and position yourself so that people become more aspirational in moving and fulfilling the roles going forward.
South Africa has had over 100 years in experiencing, with assembly, and then eventually the component industry started growing. But how do we speed that up now, today, in the African context?
You can't just treat South Africa as one country. You've got to look at the economic clusters. You've got SADC, where South Africa operates. You've got East Africa. You've got West Africa. Your approach needs to be by economic cluster, where you go into the economic cluster, do a lot of developmental work, and then grow your scale.
What is the starting point when you're going into such a new territory where the automotive sector is starting from zero?
You need to build scale first. So what you do is you start with semi-knockdown, which is a light assembly. The scale is very important, because what you want to avoid is to build factories, and a few years down the line you close them because there's no demand. So you want to build scale, ensure that the numbers are increased.
He certainly talks a good game, but now it's time to see what his vehicles are really like.
I am ready for a drive.
In South Africa, for our vehicles that export of sub-Saharan, we toughen the vehicles. It's called a localization program.
Remember also, Eleni, with commercial vehicles, it's unlike passenger vehicles. This vehicle is for your business. So when it stands still, you don't generate revenue. So we have to ensure that they are so reliable that you don't blame us for loss of revenue. That's why we need our uptime. We need them just not to break.